let us derive this topic together, right? Are you ready with me? Okay, fine. How many MBA students here? Can you raise your hands? Wow. So this side is all MBA. This side is BBA students. Fine. Fantastic. So you're going to do your MBA. You're going to complete your, you're going to do your BBA. You're going to complete your MBA. What next? Can I have the next slide, please? Yeah. What next? One of these three, right? You aspire to get into a corporate job, right? Some of you may have a family business. You may want to get into your family business, right? And of course, some of you, because I was very fortunate to interact with some of your colleagues, and some of you have that spark of entrepreneurship also in you, right? But let me tell you, whether you get into a corporate job or you get into your family business or you become an entrepreneur, what are going to be your aspirations? Do you relate with this? One more, please. Yeah. Go back, please. Go back, yeah. Yes. So I actually wanted to put a blank side on that side and give you maybe 10-20 seconds to decide what are your aspirations. So I think we let out those things in advance, no issues. So I think you want to develop a successful career, right? You want growth in your career, and of course everybody wants to make money, nothing wrong in that, right? Now, with these three things in your mind, where are you going to do this? Of course, you have to shift from your campus and you have to enter yourself into a corporate, right? Now can we have the next one, please? Have you heard about this? Anybody who has keyed this on the Google and tried to search more? From campus to corporate. Anybody has done that? You have done that. Very good. So, when you do this from a campus to corporate, typically on the net you will see lot many of do's and don'ts of corporate life. Right? Do this, don't do this. You must behave like this, you should not behave like this. Lots of do's and don'ts. The net is full of this. It is important, not that it is not important. But then, going through all those things, do's and don'ts, what impression it creates on your mind? Look at the two pictures. Is this the war of going ahead? Somebody said no. No? It's good. It's good. But then tell me one thing. Deadlines and competition, is it not there everywhere? It is there, no? As a student, you have competition. As a student, you have deadlines. You have competition deadlines in your daily life. You have it in sports. You have even siblings compete with each other for attention at home. So therefore, let us take it in our stride. And what is more important at this point is to understand what does this transition is really about. So I think this is the core topic that we are going to discuss today briefly. So if you're able to understand what is this transition all about, I think you will be better prepared for that shift from the campus to the corporate. Yeah. Now, there is a very interesting point, which the most important point from campus to corporate. You pay a fee, isn't it? And when you pay a fee, what happens is your institution works towards presenting you the best of experience, the best of education, and the preparation to face a corporate life or maybe a professional life, right? So that is what what it is. And you are studying at one of the finest institutions. Have you paid attention? Are you mindful of the kind of efforts and the consistent dedication which your faculty has? I'm sure you have, no? You must have seen that. So, what happens when you enter a profession? The role reverses. You start getting paid. So when you start getting paid, what should you be doing? Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you have learned something from your faculty, I think you carry it ahead in your profession. So look at the dedication, look at the effort level. So to make your fee work, your institution works for you. So therefore, to make your company's money work, what should you do? It's the same thing. It's just that the roles have got reversed. So this is the first thing we need to bear in our mind. Okay, now, when you enter a corporate, what happens? Entering a corporate life, right? So on the net, I was referring to the net, when you put from campus to corporate. On the net, you will see a lot of things, do's and don'ts and all those things. So look at this. There is a big shift, Today you are in a campus life. You have a very good life, right? You are enjoying. Everybody is enjoying, right? You are enjoying. You are free. You are free to roam around your campus. You talk to your friends. You enjoy. You have fun. Of course, you study, right? But when you get into a corporate, it's an entirely different ball game. So a lot of PPTs, lot of stuff on the net, which is going to tell you what is corporate grooming all about, what are workplace etiquettes, okay, how to communicate in the workplace. Fine, it is all very important. But then, what is it? It is basically adapting to the change in your place of work from campus, from your college to a office, right? This is basic hygiene. It is important. Definitely it is important. But then, why are you there? Now tell me, look at the two things which you see below. One is what? One is adapting. The other is agility. Which one do you think is more important? Basic hygiene has to be put in place, right? But why are you there? You're there to perform. You're there to do a work. So therefore, you must understand what is this agility all about? What is this performance all about? That is where we will spend a little time. So putting the two things together, look at this. What impacts your performance? See? Workplace understanding. Do you understand the workplace that you're associated with? Right? It's very, very important. Do you understand the business that your organization is carrying out? Right? Do you understand the vision and the mission of your organization? The products, the customers, the competition. Do you understand those points? And do you have those requisite skills in you which are required to carry out your basic work? This is what builds your performance. And this is what, agility is a big word, is a buzzword nowadays. But we have to understand what is the meaning of this agility. Okay, any ideas? Anybody would like to contribute? What is the meaning of agility? Anybody? It's a simple English word. What does it mean to be agile? Versatile. Versatile could be a part of agility, yes. But then is versatility enough for agility? Everybody does it, but then what defines agility? You're right, you're absolutely bang on, but then what actually defines, okay, efforts? We'll come to that, okay. Alertness. Okay, I think now you're getting closer. Yes. So see, together, all of you, when you put one word together, you're moving towards the meaning. Let us look at all those components one by one. Fine. So I'll spend a little time on each of these components. So basic hygiene. when you get into an office, you suddenly change. You suddenly have to shift gears, right, on how you dress, how you behave. So very quickly, and I'll not go into the details of these things, your first is your dress code is very, very important. Fine? So I think in an institution like BSS, I see that you already are getting used to a dress code. Right? So depends on what type of workplace you are. Depends on what type of business you are associated with. Okay, what type of function you are associated with. Mostly you will see that a business dressing is something which is going to be the norm. But then you could be in a different function. You know, you could be in sales. You could be in marketing, where not exactly this kind of a business dressing may be required. But then what is important is you have to understand what are the norms of your function, what are the norms of your workplace. But one thing remains common. The choice of clothes should be formal. Right? Even if you are wearing a jeans and a t-shirt, it should be, the choice of your colors should be subtle. Okay? The clothes should be well maintained, the clothes should be well ironed, and the way you wear it should be looking good on you. Okay? Be it a business suit, or maybe a trouser and a shirt, or maybe even in a jeans and a t-shirt. Okay, but that is very important. Tie, belt, socks, shoes, these are all the accessories. You know, to be brief with you, ties should be matching with your shirt or in contrast. They can be matching with your trousers. Okay, but subtle colors, dark colors or light colors, but no flamboyant designs. Fine. Belt and shoes are supposed to be of the same. Those are the business formal, settings. And then of course socks. Change your socks daily. I'll share one experience with you, you know. I'm from the pharmaceutical industry, so doctors are our customers. When you go and visit doctors, in many places, it is said that please remove your shoes before you enter. Many premises. I went to one doctor where it was written boldly outside, please do not remove your shoes. I'm sure you understand what might be the reason. And yes, that turned out to be the reason when I asked that doctor that, why are you asking like this? He said, one instance made me write that do not and underline it. Okay, so you know, these are small things, but very important things. Fine. Hair and nail, of course, in a professional setup, your hair should be done up properly, right? If you are a female, I think in a workplace, you should tie your hair in a bun, a neat bun, and not leave it open. Fine. Shaving, yes, either proper shaving or boys, if you want to keep a beard, please maintain it well. Right? Jewelry, yes, women will wear jewelry at work, but please ensure it is a subtle jewelry. Okay, no loud designs, okay, and no heavy jewelry to be worn at your workplace. And of course, deo should not be announcing your arrival and departure everywhere you go. So make an impact, but keep that impact subtle. That is what the norm of a professional journey, right? Then workplace etiquettes. Those of you who are living in a hostel, what do you do? If your friend is living in another room, what do you do? Do you knock? Please, may I come in? No way. No way. That's not campus life. Okay, so you simply barge into the room. Fine, but that is not to be done in a workplace. In a workplace, you know, most of the organizations, you're allotted, of course, everywhere you are allotted a workstation. In most of the organizations, there is a concept which is known as clean workstation. Your workstation should not be cluttered. Important documents should not be out. You know, when you leave your workstation in the evening, you're supposed to clean it out. Right? Any important any important document which you don't require anymore should be put into the shredder and shredded so that nobody else can have access to those documents. Okay? Do not leave documents on printers unattended. So these are certain, norms which are followed. And of course, if you are going to another person's workplace, look at the last one. Give a personal space to everyone. Right? Everybody in an office, deserves a personal space. And that is what you need to respect. Then there are certain, interpersonal relationship skills like handshakes and smiles. Handshakes should be a firm handshake, not like this or like this, straight, firm handshake, but not a knuckle-grunching handshake. Don't break the bones of your fellow colleagues, right? So firm handshakes, not very fast, and don't hold on to the hand very long. So these are certain, you'll get these guidelines everywhere, okay? Carry a smile. And do you know there is a saying regarding a smile? It is said that a smile is a curve which sets everything straight. So carry that small smile on your face, when you're in a professional setup, and you will see that people will start liking you. Of course, your work has to be good, no doubt. But with good work and a frown on your face always, you will not cut that ice. With a small smile on your face, carrying yourself gently, carrying yourself properly will make an impact. Respect all, yes, very important, At times we tend to get carried away that we are a manager. And the support staff, we don't pay much attention to. But remember, the support staff gets the office going. Do not forget that. They deserve as much of respect as your seniors do. Fine? Mobile usage, slightly different, as compared to campus. The ringtone which you carry, the volume of the ringtone that you use in the office makes a difference. Okay? So pay attention. And of course, meetings. Very, very important. Meetings are not a place where you show your superiority. A meeting room is a place where you collaborate with others. So therefore, the art of listening and the art of speaking gently is something which is very important. Okay? Be a good listener. It is not necessary that in a meeting, if a meeting lasts half an hour, it is not necessary that you have to speak 5 times. You can speak once, but make an impact. The norm of the meeting is, don't speak to make your presence felt. Speak to contribute. So I think that is what, tells people that yes, you are there in the meeting, rather than, counting on how many times I am speaking. So these are certain workplace etiquettes. Carry yourself well, contribute, respect others, listen more, and speak less. That's the reason why God has given us 2 and 1 mouth. So listen double and speak half. So that's the golden rule. And of course, communication is something very important. Your body language. Okay, you may have to tone down your body language when you're in a professional setup. Okay, carry yourself well. Your body can show respectfulness, or your body can show disdain for the other people. Okay, very important. Oral, we have already talked about listening and speaking, and male etiquettes. I'm not going to cover the details of male etiquette right now here, but then the only message to all of you is that when you're writing a professional mail, it should be very crisp. One mail should have only one topic to be covered. The topic should be detailed in the subject line in maybe 5-6 words. Okay, the urgency, the topic should become clear. Okay, use short sentences, crisp to the point, multi-paragraphed. One paragraph should contain one thought. Whenever you are changing a thought, change the paragraph. That's a professional mail etiquettes. Okay, and at the end, the salutation has to be very crisp. Just regards, your name, your mobile number, and your mail ID. That's all. No slogans are required in the signature. Okay? Appropriate salutations. So small mails always get read. Mails where the subject line very clearly defines get picked up. Because just imagine if you're working, your manager, imagine how many mails your manager would be receiving. Maybe you don't have that idea. Your manager, we have so many seniors sitting with us here. Ask them. So would I be wrong in saying that you must be receiving around 200, 300 mails in a day? All of you must be receiving that 200, 300 mails in a day. So if you receive 200, 300 mails in a day, and not even one thing should get skipped out, how will you behave? How will you pick up the mails? You are going to start that journey now, huh? Slowly climb up to that level. So gradually you will realize that mails which have a very clear subject line, they get picked up first. So why not you start sending those mails right now? Okay. So these are a few hygiene parameters, okay, adapting to a workplace. Now let us come to that topic which we were talking of. Yes. Agility. What is an agile organization? You know, it's a requirement today. More than a fad word, it is a requirement today. So agility, basically, I think from there somebody said very nicely, the speed of response, the appropriateness of the response is what defines the agility of an organization. Fine? So what is an agile organization? An agile organization which is ever evolving. An organization where decisions are made very fast. Okay? It keeps on evolving, it keeps on adapting itself to the needs of the customer. That is what is an agile organization, right? So what are the values, you know? Why is it important for an organization? Because there is a reduced turnaround time. Whenever a new project comes, whenever a new decision has to be taken, the time between the inception of the discussion, the beginning of the discussion, and the final action is very short. And what impact does that have? Look at the rest of the points. There is innovation, adaptability that we discussed about, customer satisfaction. So this is every organization today. Maybe 20 years down the line, ago, it was not there. The organizations were more, the business was more organization-centric. But what is happening today? With the economy opening up, with the market opening up, with more and more competition coming, what is becoming more important? The customer satisfaction, okay, is becoming more and more important. Because don't forget, the competitor is breathing down your neck. So if you want to stay ahead of the curve, agility is very, very important, right? Beats competition, better profits, and biggest thing, investor value. So if the investor value goes up, if people perceive your organization as valuable, you know, more investors will come. More investors means more business opportunity. Fine? So therefore, if this is what I talked about, organization. So if you have to fit into this model of agility, you will say, you can say that we are still in college. How does this impact us? देखेंगे जब जाएंगे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में, कंट्रीब्यूट करेंगे उस टाइम पे. अभी तो कैंपस के अंदर है ना, अभी तो कॉलेज के अंदर हैं. So how does this impact you? See, because of this, because every organization, you know, nowadays agility is very important within the organization. So therefore, when you join a corporate, when you are going to join a corporate, so what is going to be looked at you? No doubt the organization is going to give you training. The organization is going to give you orientation courses and induction courses. 100% yes, but then what is your turnaround time? This is going to be very, very important. That do you take 1 year to learn the tricks of the trade, or you are able to adapt to the organization and start contributing within 6 months of time? this is something very, very important. And any thoughts? Of course, I'll show you the next slide. But then, any thoughts? How can you bring this change in yourself? Anybody who would like to contribute here? How will you bring about, how will you reduce your turnaround time so that instead of 1 year, you take maybe 3-4 months to start contributing to your organization? And that is going to be something which is going to keep you ahead of the competition. So there's going to be competition for you also within the organization. Look at this. You know, the day is not far when you're going to have campus interviews and you're going to be picked up by corporates. You may still say that you're in the first year, you're in BBA, you're in the first year, but then 1 year is not a long time. Okay, so if you know what is your area of interest, where are you interested? Fortunately, you know, all of you, you have that clarity in your mind, which we may not be having when we were youngsters. So, but you have that clarity in your mind. If you have clarity in your mind, or at least even a vague clarity in your mind, do you go through that in more details? Do you leave it only on your faculty to do that for you? Only on the course curriculum? So, do you do extra readings in your spare time? Take time out for that. So therefore, you know, go through the website of the corporations that are your dream jobs. Companies, websites are very informative, let me tell you. Okay, go to the websites. Look around. Look at the overview. Look at the nature of the business. Okay, look at what are the key products. And then from there, try to derive at what are the customer profiles. What do you do when you do this? What do you gain out of all this? You start getting an understanding, right, of the business. So because since yesterday, since I talked to a few people, somebody wants to get into banking core banking. You know, there was one person who wants to get into non-core banking, something which we call non-banking finance. Somebody wants to get into marketing. So therefore, do you know which are the top organizations? Do you start tracking them? Do you start following them? Do you have a LinkedIn account? Right? So what do you do on a LinkedIn account? LinkedIn is quite different from Facebook. How do you utilize your LinkedIn? Where are you more active? On Facebook or LinkedIn? Important. So today you may not have much of idea on what to do on LinkedIn. So let me tell you, start following your dream companies on LinkedIn. Okay, there are groups, start following those groups. Okay, so in that company, who are the seniors? Who are the opinion makers? Start following them. Send a request. Don't worry, send a request. Out of 20 requests you send, 5 will accept, but those 5 will be valuable. And let me tell you, industry seniors are always looking at connecting with young blood like you. If you show interest, if you show that learning inclination, they will connect with you. And from their posts, you will learn not many things. You can even ask them a few questions in the chat box, in the message box, and they will 100% guide you. They will reply to you. Okay, so these are the ways you start, you know, reducing your turnaround time. Deep dive into the business. Okay, these are the ways. Deep dive into the business. Government of India has websites, you know, where you can read about that business more, right? Look at the competitor profile. Follow, connect with industry leaders, company seniors, and invest in acquiring skills. Nowadays, you know, you have the possibility of doing additional courses, for example, on Coursera. There are many free courses. There are many MOOCs which are available now. Okay? So like this. So pick up a few courses. Pick up a few courses. Invest in yourself. Invest. So what will happen, you know, when you, number one, it will help you because it gives you more clarity. It will help you in your interview process. Not just that. When you finally land up with a job and when you enter into the corporate, your induction programs will be more meaningful for you. Your orientation programs will be more, you'll have more confidence and your turnaround time will be less. And let me tell you guys, today, this is what the industry is looking for. Okay, so start investing in yourself. So that is the most important thing. Don't look at employment. What is the difference between employment and employability? Employment is getting a job, and employability is to prove that I'm worthy of doing this job. I'm fit for this job. Okay, so don't look at employment. Look at employability. This reminds me of how many of you have seen the movie Three Idiots? Everybody. I think everybody would have seen. So if you remember, from the movie Three Idiots, Baba Ranchod Das क्या बोल के गए थे? कामयाबी के पीछे मत भागो, काबिलियत के पीछे भागो. Isn't it? So काबिलियत के पीछे भागोगे तो कामयाबी झक मार के पीछे आएगी. So employability is काबिलियत. Employment is कामयाबी. Right? So focus on your employability factor, and I'm 100% sure you'll do well in your interviews, and even after you get selected, you will start doing well in your corporate jobs, or even if you join your family business or entrepreneurship. Right? So it is said that well begun is half done. Look at this image. In sports, particularly in athletics, where split seconds, make the athletes come first and second and drop out of even third. So what is done? They are trained how to begin well. So if they have that skills in them, that they are able to take off to a good start, I think the chances of winning the race are much, much higher. And that is, I told you, that let us derive the meaning of let's hit the ground running. That is the meaning of hit the ground running. When you hit the ground running, you start an activity with a lot of enthusiasm. Why with a lot of enthusiasm? Because you are prepared for it. You already understand that activity. You have the confidence, right? And therefore, you have a lot of enthusiasm. There is no confusion. There is no clutter in your mind. There is confidence and enthusiasm to start that activity, right? So preparation is the key. This is my last slide. I would like to finish with a quote from our, beloved APJ Kalam. What did he say? He said that my message, especially to young people, is to have courage to think differently, courage to invent, to travel the unexplored path, right? Courage to discover the impossible and to conquer the problems and succeed. These are the great qualities that the youth must develop in yourself. So guys, look at this. Because of this, because we know you have the capability and you have the passion to do this, we are in the corporate, we are waiting to welcome the best of you in our workplace, right? All the best, guys. Any questions? Maybe I may request the organizers to give 5 minutes more in case of any questions. No? Right then? Yes, ma'am. Very good. So I think the question which ma'am asked is that in the young people, what are those skills or the qualities which I look at, right? So I'll tell you, there is the biggest thing which I look at and which maybe I facilitate. I will not say I train. When I am on my workplace, I facilitate transforming theory into application. So I think this is the single thing which I work on. theory anybody can build, but theory never works. And that is, the difference that you're going to perceive when you're going to move from your campus to corporate. Because campus, you learn all the theories, which are important. But then right now, if you start reading about the industry of your choice, you will start understanding what is the practical application of those things. And there lies the key to success. So I think this is the biggest differentiator that is going to work for you. Right? When again from the movie Three Idiots is a very favorite of my movies. I mean, again, people have said, his friends have said about Ranchhod Das, हमने तो पढ़ा, इसने apply किया. Right? Anything else? Thank you for that question. I think that opens up a big learning for all of us. Okay. Any interview mistakes that you may end up doing? Not being yourself. That is the mistake that you will, that will never make you crack an interview. Not being yourself, reading a lot many things, understanding the theory part of it, trying to apply it in the interviews, that is not going to work for you. Be yourself in the interviews. What you have learned from your institute, if you have focused on these things that I have talked about, you will do well in your interviews. And it is not necessary, even if you are the brightest of students here, anywhere, it is not necessary that you will be the best fit for every job. Don't worry. Don't worry. Getting into a job which is you are not best fit for may not be the right thing. So don't worry. I know, this anxiety is there. The moment campus interviews begin and somebody does not get through the first interview, the confidence comes down like this. But don't worry. You will be able to make it if you are preparing for your interviews, if you're preparing for the industry that you want to get into, the function that you want to get into. If you're reading more about it, you're developing yourself, you're gaining the skills by doing these additional courses, you will do well in the interviews. Okay? Thank you for your question. Right, so all the best, guys. All the best. I know there are stars in your eyes. Okay? So your dreams will come true. Work towards catching your dreams. Right? All the best. Bye-bye.